the next point on my list was about buying equipment. I can't really demo any of this stuff to you right now, but I've got two examples I might use. Is I've got an analog heat, which is like a distortion and filtering unit. That's maybe not as suited to this tune, but I might run the drums through it to give them a little bit more thickness and crunch, and then bounce them down as one. And then you bounce it down as one and you stop messing about with it as well. Because if I bounce all of that to one audio file, I can't go back and obsessively EQ it for the next 3 months, which is what people love to do in drum and bass and dance music. You know, mix it down 27 times when what you actually need to do is move beyond the first 8 bars. I mean, that's like a real problem that people do a lot of the time. I've got some pedals that I might run the pianos through it and do something. The resampling I do it with hardware as well. But yeah, the other thing I was gonna show you that might be useful is I forgot to mention this earlier when I was doing when I've been writing hip hop projects. I learned some new techniques where so what I'm gonna do is export this. Yeah, just whatever, piano, bounce it down and then chop it up. Yeah, so what I was doing was using my MIDI keyboard has 16 pads on the top of it, and I never really use them because I'm not really much of a finger drummer. You know, I don't tend to play things in when I'm doing drums anyway. I've never been sort of playing beats in by hand. It's just not really how I work. So it was just like going to waste basically. So what I realized is that I can use it as a sampler, and then it is really handy. So I didn't mean to cut that there. So I've sliced this up into bits. So this is and again, this factors in also to making samples your own as well. But I keep saying, I genuinely don't really care, but about whether it's someone else can hear it or knows this from a sample pack. It's all about how you use things and put them together. But I can convert this to a sampler track. Just going to call it piano, and it will go onto the right. So first it puts it into a sampler like this. If I look in the sampler in the edit menu, it's spread it across all these keys, which are where my pads are. This is confusing. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this. Yeah, there we go. Those 16 pads there were not used for about 2 years, and now I've got the hook on there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put something on called low latency mode, which, because otherwise I've got loads of latency running. I'm just going to save that. That's fine. What I'm going to do is pitch it up because I've already got it low. So what that means is now and then I can play that over the existing piano and see what comes of it. And again, this is sort of, I'm kind of winging it with what I'm doing right now, but I just want to show you sort of some of the things that I do that have made making music more fun again, basically. So I don't need that one. I'll turn low latency on. I broke it. Right, time to make it sound fun. So yeah, again, I don't work for the Drip company, but I did find this plugin really exciting to play with. So it's got a little delay and stuff. It's quite a cool little preset. I might use half of that preset and then perhaps EQ it a little bit, but I don't really care too much. I'm going to set the level in a sampler to be steady so that it doesn't matter what velocity I play. So not cut up very well. I should put a bit more time into it. Right, I've got something new. You know, it's probably need to quantize it. Quarter notes, I think. That first one isn't right though. There we go, that's what I wanted to do. So what does it do at the end? Something's not quite right. No, that's good actually. Works perfectly. So I've got another little melody line from chopping up the piano, and because I'm playing it on the pads, I stopped caring about what note I'm playing. You know, when you play a keyboard, even if you're not trained to play a keyboard, you still want to be. You know, I'm worrying about, is it C, D or E? Now I'm just like, which pads I've got the cool bit. So that's working quite nicely. Now I'm going to go back to it with some more plugins and just see what else I can do to it. So I'm going to loop just 2 bars of it, which will get a little bit annoying, but you'll hear what I'm doing with the plugins more. So in my modulation plugins, I've got any modulation plugin that I have. I honestly don't know what they all do. I just threw them all in here so that they're all ready to play with, right? But what I do know, kind of, this Spec Ops just does weird shit. So also don't be use presets. Basically, don't feel like you have to do everything yourself all the time from scratch. So I can't remember. I haven't used this plugin for probably a year or two. I'm just gonna see what I can do with it. Sloped auto wah. Not quite sure what it's doing. Not doing as much as I thought it would. But the point really is, whatever comes out now doesn't actually matter that much. It's more just that I'm going to have fun with this sound and mess with it more. Oh, that's cool. That's completely ruined it, but it's also really cool. So if I put loads of delay on that and just make that into something different again. Maybe I need to go in and use the mix control of this plugin a bit. It's sort of all or nothing, this one. MP3ify, I've just basically ruined it. Oh, that's cool. So it's working on the high frequencies. That's making it a bit duller. Right, going to my new toys. Endless Smile is just a big reverb, so it's going to make it drift away. But this is, again, just such a stupid plugin, right? It's gone. So this is really good for using for build-ups. You basically just automate the intensity as you get towards the drop, right? But somewhere around there is good. So now I've kind of changed it too much, so I might duplicate the channel and unplug in it. So I've got variations. So that's a cool chain. Piano. Melody effects. Right, this is back to normal. Low drip again. Chuck it through a few different presets, and that's pretty cool. It's a bit too much. I just want it to move a little bit. And maybe I'll use Endless Smile, but on a different preset. What's happened there? It's disappeared. Oh, wow. Just makes it disappear. Yes, it's nice. It makes it distant. Right now, ping one to the left and one to the right. Cleanish. And then we've got just realised I had my headphones on the wrong way. I was like, why the hell, why has it gone to the right? Okay, so that one's affected to the left, that one's to the right. So we've got a main piano hook. And then I've got a second layer that lives in the stereo field. So, yeah, so the points I'm trying to show you, remember, are not like how to write a song necessarily. The pre-production prep stuff, I'm not going to go into doing that properly today because that would be a lesson in itself, right? But because I had lots of good drums ready to go, because combination of me doing some loops myself and using the Pro Packs, this will roll immediately. So we can get an idea of how it flows as a tune. Did actually come in later, that's too early for that.